The insane security of Vladimir Putin. The Russian president's personal security unit is one of the best staffed and best trained team in the world. Months before Vladimir Putin leaves his residence to appear in public anywhere, his security team is already afoot. First, the team analyzes all possible threats, criminal activity, social unrest, image perception, and even the possibility of natural disasters, like earthquakes or floods in the region during the potential visit. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. Today, we dissect the insane security of Vladimir Putin. Let's get it on. About a month before the Russian president visits anywhere, members of his security team arrive at the place to coordinate their security schedule with local authorities and check the accommodation where the president will be staying. Everything is repaired to the last doorknob so that during the president's stay, no technicians or repairers would need to access the living quarters. The security team's IT engineers and technicians install jammers to block any radio detonation signals to the president's location. The equipment maintained by his surveillance team pings all smartphones and other devices in immediate proximity to the president's location to control any suspicious activity. For those of you concerned with privacy issues, according to Russian laws, the president's security has the right to install and use tapping hardware and software of any kind, conduct body searches, have access to any building and organization, or seize any vehicle if any of this is necessary for the security of the Kremlin boss. However, seizure of civilian vehicles is allowed only in extreme conditions, and there are no official records of even a single such occasion occurring. After such thorough preparations have been executed, the president arrives, and the security sets on to its immediate work. The special service responsible for the security of the Russian president is called the Federal Protective Service. Official name? Federal Guard Service of the Russian Federation. Its staff records and financing are partly classified, but half official sources say it numbers over 50,000 employees in total. Why so many? You may want to know. Inside the Federal Security Service, a special unit ensures the president's personal security. Surprisingly, the requirements for this position don't include real war experience. It is unlikely that the president's security guard will have to arrange ambushes on mountain trails or jump with a parachute, a former president's security employee said. Combat experience is useful, but is often not applicable in our work. During the war, you attack, and a bodyguard should only protect the dignitary from someone invisible. This is why former police operatives aren't fit for this work. They're trained to apprehend, and for the president's bodyguard, his security is the first priority, not the necessity to apprehend the attacker. The guard must have operational psychology, which means being able to anticipate and prevent threats and to do this unnoticed by others, which is also important. Other requirements for the position are: applicants must be younger than 35, have a height between 175 and 190 centimeters, and weigh between 75 and 90 kilograms. The president's personal bodyguards must also understand foreign languages and be basically proficient in politics, just to understand who approaches the president and how these people should be treated. The president's guards have high stamina. They're trained to sustain considerable cold in light overcoats and not sweat in the heat. According to some reports, they use medicines that affect psychological processes. By the way, the bodyguards are allowed to smoke cigarettes. It helps to calm the stress quicker, but of course, not during training or work. His bodyguard's work is highly draining, which is why they are discharged after 35. During the president's time in public, the guards are loosely organized in 4 circles. The closest circle to the president are his personal bodyguards, menacingly looking guys in suits, dark sunglasses with an earpiece in their ear and a suitcase. They look ominously for a reason. For attackers, this is the first sign that the dignitary is closely protected. Another detail that hints at a bodyguard is his hands. They're always in front of the body, the left hand often raised halfway. This is a compulsory requirement. The guard must always be in an alert position because the immediate task of the first circle in case of danger is to shield the president with their bodies. The suitcases these guys are carrying are protective shields that can be deployed to protect the president from bullets. The guards are armed with a 9mm Gurza pistol that can shoot up to 40 bullets per minute, penetrating bulletproof vests from a 50-meter distance. However, if a shootout occurs, that means the security team has failed. Any attacks should be, above all, prevented beforehand. Another piece of equipment meant to protect the ward are Kevlar umbrellas carried around by the guards. They're super sturdy and can protect from projectiles. However, it's not the first circle guards that are the most important, but the second. Unlike the first, they're totally inconspicuous in the crowd. Dressed formally and behaving discreetly, they're searching for potential attackers. The third circle encircles the perimeter of the crowd, preventing suspicious persons from being in the president's proximity. The fourth circle are snipers situated on the roofs of the surrounding buildings. That's why it's dangerous to run, scream, make hasty movements near the president. You'll get a red dot on your head in seconds. Also, during the president's appearance in wide public spaces, additional protective equipment might be installed. At one time, President Putin was honoring the late mayor of St. Petersburg, Anatoly Sobchak, by laying flowers on his monument. Before attending, a video circulated online of his security team installing bulletproof glass screens behind the stage just to be used for the occasion. Finally, the heavy part of the unit travels with the president's cortege in armored vans. Remember, extreme driving is also a required skill for most of the president's security. These guys are spec ops, armed with AK-47s, Dragunov sniper rifles, anti-tank grenade launchers, and portable OSA anti-aircraft missile systems. However, the main asset of the president's security in the case of Vladimir Putin is the president himself. Having had the experience of working in Soviet and Russian secret services, Putin is a mostly manageable dignitary, according to several former officers of the president's security. He knows that his security team knows what they're doing, and he always complies with their security demands. Putin's bodyguards, who call themselves his musketeers, comprise a special unit within Russia's Federal Protective Service, or FSO, which traces its roots to 1881, when Tsar Alexander III surrounded himself with guards following the assassination of his father by a bomb-throwing revolutionary. On the road, Putin rides amid a convoy of heavily armored vans that carry special military operators armed with AK-47s, anti-tank grenade launchers, and portable anti-aircraft missiles. In 2018, one bodyguard was recorded intervening when famed mixed martial artist Conor McGregor threw his arm around Putin's shoulders as they posed for cameras at the World Cup Soccer Championship in Moscow. A video posted on YouTube shows the man briefly stepping into view to fix McGregor with a steely gaze and gesture him to stop, prompting the fighter to quickly remove his arm and sheepishly fold his hands together. In 2016, Russia Beyond noted long-standing rumors that the FSO sometimes employed a presidential body double to ensure the safety of Putin, or body number one. Putin later acknowledged that he was offered a stand-in lookalike when he made several trips to Chechnya when Russia was battling separatists there during the early 2000s. But he claimed during a 2020 interview to have declined those body doubles every time the subject came up. Putin also has someone sample every meal he's served to ensure he's not being poisoned, according to the founder of the Club des Chefs, a culinary organization whose members cook for the heads of state and monarchs around the world. The potential threats against Putin were thrust into the spotlight when U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham called on somebody in Russia to take him out for ordering the deadly invasion of Ukraine. But the Kremlin head, a former KGB agent who's been at the helm since rising to power in 2000, is apparently obsessed with both his security and his health, protecting himself from assassins and avoiding COVID-19 at all costs, as demonstrated by the lengths to which he's gone to avoid catching the virus. Recent photos show him meeting with world leaders and even his own advisors at opposite ends of extremely long tables to maintain at least 20 feet of distance between them, and he donned a hazmat suit complete with a full face respirator before visiting a Moscow hospital treating coronavirus patients in April 2020. If his reputation wasn't bad enough before Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, President Vladimir Putin is now even more widely seen as unstable, unreliable, and untrustworthy. And those are the more generous descriptions of a leader who has ordered and overseen violent and destructive aggression toward Russia's smaller neighbor. So his security has to be the best. After all, he has succeeded in bagging himself a number of enemies. For the past 20 years, Vladimir Putin, a deeply paranoid megalomaniac who has by now completely isolated himself from his own people, has been progressively diverting Russia's considerable wealth towards the construction of an all-encompassing security state. Like most autocrats, Putin has come to believe that he alone can save Russia from internal subversion and foreign aggression, though he had and still has authority over an organized military force numbering 771,000 troops, sailors, and airmen. A domestic police force of more than 904,000 officers and an untold number of security troops, he still wanted a National Guard of up to 400,000 additional troops for his own personal protection. Against whom would he need the National Guard? Apparently against his own people. This shows how skeptical he is. Regardless, Putin still boasts some of the best personal security guards in the world. Did you enjoy our video? What do you think of Vladimir Putin's security? Let us know in the comments below. Well, if you enjoyed our video, remember to click the subscribe button for more of our luxurious content and give us a like and share. This is The Luxurious. Talk to you in the next video.